I think it's time to go home. Andre and George had been packing their gear, and they looked up with questioning expressions on their faces. Sophie shook herself, deciding she should be more assertive than that. You can do what you like, but I can't do this anymore. It's time for me to go home. Now the two men exchanged a glance, one indicative of their concern for her, with just a touch of condescension. They knew, as she did, that going home wasn't up to her. What exactly do you mean by that? Andre handed a black case to George, who was standing in the bed of the cart, and came closer to where she stood in the center of the almost empty pavilion. They could put away their 21st century gear, because the Battle of Beeston Castle had been won. Yay for us. You can follow the army north if you like, all the way to Scotland if necessary, but I'm not going. You don't have to tell me that Avalon may be out of reach. She shook her head. I know that. It doesn't matter. I'm going back to Chester. I support your right to do that, Andre said, and I'm sure we can find someone to escort you, since George and I are going north. But are you sure? What's in Chester? I've just come from the Great Hall. Everyone is praising what we did. What I did. Sophie raised a hand and dropped it, feeling helpless in a way that belied the accolades she'd spent all morning receiving. You did do well, George said, still from the back of the cart. We all did, except for Andre. He shot Andre a grin. I do actually believe that, she said, ignoring George's jibe at Andre. The two men had settled into a steady policy of continual ribbing, to the amusement of both. They knew each other well enough by now not to take offense. And I'm not fundamentally sorry that I helped. But this, she gestured to her surroundings, isn't me. It's playing a role that I don't want to play anymore. George scoffed and hefted another case into the cart. You'd rather be a medieval woman, sitting at home having babies and sewing? Wow, tell me what you really think. She looked him up and down. I'm sorry you don't think those things are worthwhile, or as important as winning battles, but I also don't see them as my only options.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.